did want to discuss the Dallas Cowboys. So this should have, I'm kicking myself today, folks, on not taking Dallas -6 against the Rams in the if I were a betting man game. Again, I took Dallas to cover. I think this was a pretty obvious one. Dallas coming off a bye, Rams coming off of an emotionally draining physical game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, it was kind of a situation where LA was going to be banged up. Dallas was going to be feeling good about themselves at home. They haven't lost at home since week 1, 2022. Dallas is going to win that game. So I'm kicking myself for not making that the if I were a betting man game. But Dallas not only won, Dallas not only covered, but Dallas absolutely throttled the Rams by a final score of 43-20. And so, listen, you know how it goes on the show. See that for the podcast audience, I'm wearing my Dak hat. You know, got to support my guy. If nobody else is going to bring it up, then I will. Okay. The fact that what he did yesterday, again, you guys know the drill. I know my guy Philip is big on this train with me, but everybody else out there, you know the drill. Okay. Say it loud, say it proud. You know how it goes. Rain, Dakota. Wow, I didn't mean for my voice to crack there. Let me try that one more time. Rain, Dakota, Prescott dominated with a capital D the Los Angeles Rams yesterday. Okay, how about this? Completed 81% of his passes for 304 yards. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 touchdowns on the day. A tipped interception, but it happens. A QBR of 81 and a passer rating of 133.7. Simply put, Dak Prescott was absolutely spectacular. Again, we've kind of become used to that. How about this fun stat, by the way? Okay, how about this? I think you Cowboys fans out there are gonna like this, and you fellow Dak fans are gonna like this. Okay, Dak Prescott is the only quarterback in the NFL this season. Only guy, 8 weeks into the season. Unless I don't know if Jared Goff has a chance to do it tonight, but put that aside. Dak Prescott, only quarterback through 8 weeks of this NFL season to have 3 games in which he completed 80% of his passes. 80%. Dak's done that 3 times this year. I know he completed 80% against the Jets. Again, the Jets make every quarterback they face look like a bum. Dak torched them for 30. That's neither here nor there. He completed 80% yesterday, and the other 80 would have either been against the Patriots or against the Chargers. I thought he was awesome against the Chargers 2 weeks ago. But again, I've been saying this for the longest time. This is who Rain Dakota Prescott is. And what I think was, listen, Dallas was going to win this game. Like that goes, Dallas was going to win this game. The defense played outstanding. Micah Parsons was great. They got a pick 6. Deron Bland, who's got 3 pick 6s on the year so far, which is outstanding. He's got more touchdowns than some wide receivers out there. So Deron Bland, the Cowboys Cam fan guys here in the grid call him Deron Not So Bland. That's a good nickname. Shout out to the Cam fan guys. Deron Bland pick 6. They got a punt block safety. So everything was humming for Dallas, and they were clearly the better team than the Rams. Here's what I thought was very encouraging, and I hope for Dak's sake this will continue. As great as he played against the Chargers, and for the record, while his stats were better yesterday against the Rams, I think he was better 2 weeks ago against the Chargers, given the circumstances with no protection, no running game, running for his life. I mean, play calling hindering him, the whole bit. What I love that Mike McCarthy did, and I don't know if this was a bye week adjustment, whatever the case may be, is I bang the table for Kellen Moore to let Dak do this. Not let Dak cook to a certain degree, like with Russell Wilson, but sort of in that ilk, sort of in that same conversation. Is, guys, Dak's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in throwing deep. Check the numbers since he came to the league. Check season by season. Dak is one of the most efficient quarterbacks when throwing the ball 20 or more yards down the field. Been saying this for weeks. I said this after the Cardinals game. I said Dallas lost to Arizona because it wouldn't let Dak take shots. I think Dak had like one throw of 20 yards down the field. Like, that's not a Dak thing. That's a play calling thing. That's you're not scheming plays for your receivers to get open down the field thing. Well, they did yesterday. They took shots to Brandon Cooks. They let Dak, by the way, when is Dak at his best? Outside the pocket. Make it throw. If protection breaks down, can he roll out to his right? Can he roll out to his left? Can he make throws? Yes, he can. We saw that yesterday. Saw that against the Chargers. Taking shots. Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. By the way, CeeDee Lamb was outstanding yesterday. 12 catches for $158 and 2 touchdowns. He was spectacular. CeeDee Lamb proved to me last year he was a true number 1 receiver. But that's what you got to do if you're Dallas. Is, again, I hesitate. I don't want to say. I'm holding myself back from saying let Dak cook. It's just I'm holding back on that, but it is sort of in that same conversation that Dak's really good when taking shots. Roll with that. Dallas's running game was good, by the way, a little over 100 yards rushing. And again, the thing for for the Cowboys, and I was thinking about this yesterday, and that's sort of the main part of my argument. My argument is that they have as genuine and strong as a case as anybody in the NFC, that they are the class of the conference right now, even over Philadelphia, which, you know what the beauty of that is? We're going to find out on Sunday. Philadelphia, let me make sure, see if the line has moved. No, the line has not moved since this morning, and it still could by Sunday, obviously. We got 6 days before kickoff. But Dallas, Philly play on Sunday in Philly, and Philly's a 3-point favorite. So Vegas is saying, we're giving the 3 points to Philly because they're at home. Other than that, these teams are evenly matched, which I mostly agree with that. But again, the case for Dallas as the best team in the NFC, and a lot of good questions, again, will be answered on Sunday. But if you look at, let's talk about the 49ers. Sure, the 49ers beat Dallas, and badly, just a few weeks ago in Santa Clara. But not only have they lost 3 straight, but build a lead on Purdy, force him to come back. And by the way, I love Starty Purdy. But build a lead on Purdy, force him to come back with his arm. Limitations there. It's not the case with Dak. Dak's won a lot of games when trailing. Dak's won a lot of games when the circumstances aren't ideal, aren't perfect. So they've got a big advantage there. Okay, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Detroit, who has one of the better offensive and defensive combinations in all of football. I think you're going to see that tonight against the Raiders. My prediction that game at the end of the show. But we've never seen this version of the Detroit Lions do it in the playoffs. I think they will. Folks know that ever since the offseason, I said the Detroit Lions are going to be in the NFC title game. Been saying that for a while. But we've never seen them do it. We've never seen Dallas get to the NFC title game. We've seen them win playoff games with this team. We've seen them have success with Dak Prescott. We've seen Mike McCarthy have success in the past, albeit with Aaron Rodgers, but we've seen him have success in the past. Let's think about the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, Philadelphia's got an elite offensive line, elite quarterback, elite wideouts, elite tight end, excellent running game. By the way, excellent pass rush as well. But as we saw yesterday against Washington, and maybe they're still trying to work Kevin Bynard into the lineup. I don't know. Man, that secondary is a weakness. I mean, you got Sam Howell looking like Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes or Trevor Lawrence against this Eagles defense. I mean, this is an Eagles secondary. I've been saying this for a while. This is my main. When Matt Jones threw for 300 yards against this team, I'm like, uh-oh, that's not great. It's why I applauded the Bynard trade last week. And again, maybe they are still trying to work him into the lineup. He's still very new. But the last time Dak faced this defense, by the way, C.J. Gardner-Johnson was on that defense last year. Yeah, Dak hung 40 on them. Like, that matters. And so, again, those to me are the top 4 teams in the NFC. Saints, get out of here. Seattle, I really like Seattle. I don't think Seattle's on the level of those other teams. I simply don't. They haven't shown me enough to prove that they're in that class. So if you're Dallas, you got to feel great about where you're at. And, you know, this is a massive game on Sunday. This is literally for the division lead. Dallas and Philadelphia, who obviously play twice this season, play twice every year. But this is an opportunity for them to kind of put their foot down and say, you know what? We're here. We are the best team, not just in the division, but in the entire conference, which I said about the Cowboys, and we'll talk about it throughout the week because it's probably the biggest game of the NFL in week 9. But I predicted Dallas to be the 1 seed coming into the season, ever so slightly edging Philly for the NFC East. I said Dallas would win 13 games, Philly would win 12. But in order for Dallas to get that 1 seed, and we saw yesterday, we've seen for, the last year and a half, they are hard to beat at home. But to get that home field advantage and obviously get that vision, that's bare minimum. You got to win games like this. You got to beat the big boys, the big guys in the NFC. Beat the defending NFC champions. I think the matchups favor Dallas in some respects. They favor Philly in other respects. I can't wait for the game. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere at Philadelphia. But Dallas, you got to feel great about where you are last night. Dak Prescott is playing unbelievable football this season. And again, the only criticism I would have of the Cowboys is, listen, I know Cooks had a good game yesterday. I know he had a good game 2 weeks ago against the Chargers. I still think they should at least do their due diligence and see if there's one of these teams out there that maybe like Arizona, again with Hollywood Brown, it couldn't hurt to add another receiver. Because while CeeDee Lamb is still the clear number 1 in this football team, while Cooks has proven himself, knock on wood, he stays healthy, a serviceable number 2, you don't have a number 3. With respect to Michael Gallup, I hate it for him, but that ACL seems to have sapped all of his energy, all of his explosiveness. At that point, if Cooks is taken away, if Lamb, which is going to be hard to do, but if Lamb's taken away, you don't have a security blanket tight end. Pollard's an okay receiving back, but nothing more than the occasional screen pass or check down. That's my only criticism of Dallas. Other than that, they look good. Like, they look really good. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.